All right, Jason here from newtonswave.com and welcome to part 3 of how to make money trading crypto using sine waves. Okay, so we're doing a live example today of how to find your entry point, and we're on Jasmy. And you can see two kind of patterns charts on the screen there. You've got your candlestick shadow and you've got Newton's wave. Newton's wave is basically the daddy electromagnetic sine wave. Basically that from there you get all your orientation. So let's have a look now how we can work out those timing and entry points using sine waves. Okay, so if we just to look at the candlestick pattern, all right, we can see a peak and some ups and downs, but we still really don't know how or when to enter this trade. So that is where you bring another sine wave in. Now, this is the mummy of sine waves. So it's like a marriage between mummy and daddy sine waves. It gives us an orientation. So we've got some demarcation points here as well. So I'm going to put these vertical lines in. So there's one in red there. So at the bottom peak of Newton's wave, that shows us where a previous motion ended and a new one is started. So that's our starting point. I'm now going to put our middle point in because that's very important. So that middle point there, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 waves, peaks on Newton's wave, tells us that the motion has finished and another one has started. So if that sounds confusing, let me put it into context for you, right? So let me show you behind the scenes, all the invisible stuff you can't normally see with your eyes. Because look, trading is a science, right? There's so much tripe out there on the internet that, you know, you need this indicator and that indicator and it's these fundamentals, that fundamentals. It's a load of rubbish, right? All of it. This is the secret that I'm about to show you. Everything basically, right, is based on circles. So let me bring my first circle in. There you go. So the whole price movement, the whole movement of a sine wave is based on a circle. So a circle basically does a 360-degree rotation. Now, a circle can be split up into 4 parts. So if it's 360, the 4 parts would be a 90, 90, 90, and 90, 280s, right? And that is the whole movement or cycle of one sine wave. So if I now mark this out for you and show you, so there we go, we got circle there. Now I'm going to put the triangles, add the triangles now. There's triangle 1, triangle 2, triangle 3, and triangle 4. So let me also number those as well for you. All right, so basically that is an entire movement. Look at that, isn't that incredible? Right? And so if you were counting the peaks of Newton's wave there, so let me just do that. You'd have peak. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Where are we? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you were counting the peaks of Newton's wave, there we go, got you there. You'd have peaks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So basically 7, every movement is 7 of a particular sine wave, right? Which is absolutely amazing. Basically, it all comes to 28. 7 and 7 is 14, 14 and 14 is 28. But that is for another video, right? So we know by the peaks of Newton's wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and at the bottom of 7, that is a movement finished. So how does knowing this, right, help us to find our entry point into Jasmy in this instance while it's playing out live? Well, we basically use the same formula that we did. We got 7 peaks there, right? So let's count the peaks now again on Newton's wave. So we got peak 1, we got peak 2, we got peak 3, we got peak 4, we got peak 5, we got peak 6, right? But we know that it has to do 7 peaks before the end of a movement. So let me just bring you in a projected course of where the 7th peak would be. Now, but we're not just using that. So some people could say to me, you're just guessing there, mate. Well, this is where circles and the mummy sine wave come into play. So now let me reveal the other circle. There it is, look at that. So there's the other circle. Let me now add the other triangles. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So we've done 3. We're now waiting for the 4th one to do. So now let me bring in the end point there, and let me bring in these points. So there we go. So also just let me number those triangles for you. So there we go. Look at that. How beautiful. How cool is that? So by those 2 circles, or 2 lots of 4 parts which make up the circles, right, you have a movement of 4, then a 4, right? Or the big daddy, right, the big daddy sine wave is 2 lots of 7s, right? But the point being is, when you get all the planets aligning, then that is when you make your entry point. And that is why, if you don't use sine waves, right, in your trading, you use MACDs and Bollinger Bands and all this stuff. It's all based on the candlestick shadow. Trading is not about the candlestick shadow. It's got nothing to do with the candlestick shadow. It's just a shadow. It's a shadow of the actual main big daddy sine wave. So you need to trade the wave and not the price pattern. But here's another thing I just wanted to share with you, right? Many people say to me, why does timing shift? You know, one day we'll say, oh, we enter on the 1st of September. Now, why are you saying that we've got to enter, say, on the 18th of September? Well, let me tell you a scientific fact. You see the peaks of these sine waves here. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. They never ever change. So the distance between each one of those peaks is a constant. It always stays the same. However, the time it takes for the price to move, right, between these peaks, just like so, can change. And that is the variable. So the sine wave is a constant. The peaks and the troughs of the sine wave are a constant. But the time it takes to travel in between peaks, the distance, is a variable. Why? Because basically the speed in which it travels across that distance is based on the frequency of buying and selling. So let me give you an example. Let's say on Jasmy, right, they just stopped trading today. All right, and so let's say the price was here where it is right now. It would just stop. It would freeze. It wouldn't go forward. It wouldn't go backwards. The peaks of the sine wave stay the same, but the time now becomes stretched. But now let's say everyone in the world started buying and selling buying and selling Jasmy cryptocurrency, right? It would speed up immensely. So time, the distance between the peaks it takes to travel, can be frozen, it can shorten, or it can stretch in between those peaks. And that's why timing changes. And in this instance, Jasmy has been doing a bear phase down for about 2 years now. It's coming down. And when things are going down, unless people are shorting it, people lose interest, they go elsewhere. So the frequency of trading gets less. And so the price and so the movement of the price slows down. But nevertheless, using the peaks of the sine wave, that based on everything we've got today, so it is, where are we today? It is the 1st of September today. So based on our new calculation, right, our entry point into Jasmy would be on the 18th of September. Now, in a week's time, I will review this, right? And if trading has been slower than it has been, say, the last week, that could move to the 24th of September, right? Remember the time it takes to travel between peaks. The peaks stay the same, but the time it takes to travel between those two peaks can alter. That's why when you're trading, you use Newton's wave and the sine waves to get your exact timing and your entry point, but you need to reassess, you need to reanalyze and review exactly where you are, say every 3 or 4 days, which is quite easy because once you've set it up, you just come and say, oh, is it still on target? Yes. Is it not in target? Oh, no, it isn't. So then again, you can adjust the dates accordingly. So there you go. That is how to use sine waves to get your entry and exit points into a live crypto trade. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. You take care, and I'll speak to you soon.